Good evening and welcome, Akwaba. I am Minister Rauna Thurston, and I am here with Manu Ampim and Daasebre Kwebu Ewusi, the seventh. Daasebre is a Ewusi king from Ghanaian, and he is also a paramount chief of the Abeadze area, which is in the central region and traditional area in Ghana. I just want to quickly say that when I went to Africa for the first time, it was with a long lineage of family who had gone before me. And everyone said that when you go to Africa for the first time, you feel something inside of yourself, and these bells go off within you and all of these things. And so when I went, I have to also say on tour with Professor Manu Ampim, when I went, I was looking for these bells and I was looking for these gongs and all of these things. And it was absolutely amazing. It was enlightening. It was amazing. It was amazing. But no bells. Amazing, but no bell. And I couldn't understand why, because everything that I saw definitely should have evoked that bell going off in me. But when I went to Ghana and I was introduced to chieftaincy, and I got to see it in action and come to know that aspect of who our people are and had been and continue to be, I felt my whole soul rock. So when I had the opportunity for a Ghanaian chief, an Ewusi chief, to come here and visit, I knew that Wose was the place that I had to bring him. And I also knew that there was only one individual that was qualified and bad enough to sit side by side with the paramount chief, and that's Professor Manu Ampim, that he would ask the right questions. So I'm going to get out of the way and let these two gentlemen unpack whatever stories they have to tell.
Thank you, Minister Rauna. Thank you, Chief. We really appreciate you coming to Oakland and being here at Wose community. So welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah.
So I just want to start by asking a question about the meaning of your name, Daasebre Kwebu Ewusi the seventh. And so what's the meaning in Akan of your name?
Yeah, thank you, Prof. Yeah, Daasebre Kwebu Ewusi the seventh is my name. But you know what? Daasebre is not my real name. Daasebre is a title given to me. So the meaning of Daasebre is, you see, in Africa, we try to help ourselves. When I was in school, close to 30 years to be the king, I started helping my people, helping them to go to school, get them work, to do a whole lot of things. And if I can explain the Daasebre in our literal meaning, Daase means thanking. Daase means thanking. I mean, thanking somebody that done something good for me, so let me thank you. So Prof will do something today, we'll thank him, another day he'll do, and we'll be thanking him over and over and over. So at the end of the day, we'll be tired because you always thank him. You understand what I mean? So that is why we call it Daasebre. If you mean to thank me, you'll be tired, you'll be fed up. Because I'll do something for you to thank me. You understand what I mean? Yeah, so that is why they gave me this title, Daasebre Kwebu Ewusi the seventh. But the Daasebre is the title, and the Kwebu Ewusi is my school name, and the seventh is, where the ranking, takes me to. So a couple of chiefs have gone under the drain, and, it's not that we've been 7 people on the stool. I mean, a couple of years, but we just broke it down. I took Ewusi, the dynasty of Ewusi. So that is where the 7th comes in. So this is the meaning of Daasebre.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay. So you've been in chieftaincy for now 29 years, almost 3 decades.
Yeah, that's into sure.
Can you talk about that? I know that you that you have a jurisdiction of 32 communities in central Ghana. Can you talk about your chieftainship and the area that you have jurisdiction over in Ghana?
Okay, yeah, Prof. Yeah, like I said from the onset, I mean, the central part of Ghana, I have 32 communities. I am a traditional ruler. If you say somebody is a traditional ruler, you're talking of overlord. So these 32 towns and villages are under my jurisdiction. And I have chiefs in each and every town. All these 32 chiefs, my chiefs are there, supervising what goes on and then reporting back to me. So, the same way I have queen mothers. Each chief has his queen mother. You see, the chiefs normally, take care of the men, and we have women also to take care of women. Because sometimes it's not everything that the man can do to woman. That's why we always have queens and then kings. So they work together. My area, as I said from the onset, is controlling about 50,000 people or more. Yeah, within my jurisdiction. I don't remember the last time they did census, but it's going to be more than that. But they haven't done census or counting of people for quite a long time. Yeah, so if you come to my traditional area, our chieftain's hierarchy is this. You have to come from the royal lineage. If you're not from the royal lineage, you can never be enthroned as a king or stuff like that. So I am from the royal lineage. That is how we do our things. And we inherit in matrilineal. Because if you are not inheriting from matrilineal system, you can't succeed. So that is from the mother's side. I don't know. I think I'm making it clear to you. You inherit from the mother's side. So my senior brother passed on, then I came to inherit him for the past 29, getting to 30 years now. And I'm going to celebrate, God willing, my 30th anniversary on the throne come next August.
So in terms of matrilineal for the Akan people and the Tabazi area, so that means that the person who's next in line, the person who's next in line, Chief, would be your nephew. Correct?
Yeah.
So can you talk, so it would be your sister's son, so not your son, but your sister's son would be next in line.
Right. My sons cannot inherit my throne because we inherit matrilineal. So it's my sister's son, my auntie's son. That is within the family, close family nucleus. You see, because my son has his own family, where he comes from. If there's any inheritance that will go to my son, it should come from his family. You see, we call them Imbabain. Imbabain means my sons are Imbabain, they serve me in my house or in my family. We also have fathers. I also serve my father. I can't inherit my father's throne. So that is how the system, but in Ghana, there are certain places that you go, they inherit patrilineal. I mean, you go to the Gans, some part of the Volta and others, they inherit patrilineal, but for our Akans, this is the way our inheritance works.
Yeah, and this is part of the old tradition of
Very well.
of elevating the women in the female line.
Sure.
So Ewusi the seventh, can you talk about your lineage and how far can you trace your family lineage in terms of royalty and chieftainship in Ghana?
Yes. What I know is the Akans, very highly dominated in Ghana. We rooted from Mali, that's Mansa Musa's descendants, from Mali, and then we came to Sudan, and then we came to Techiman. Techiman is Ghana, so I don't think you guys will know the name. So we came there, we stayed, we were Mansa Musa those days. We stayed there for a couple of years. Then we moved to Sudan, as I said, then to Techima. We stayed in Techima for a couple of years. We were getting larger, so we were not comfortable. Our ancestors were not comfortable there, so they planned moving ahead. Because those days, because of wars and all that stuff, you need to be very careful. If you are not careful, you'll be destroyed or stuff like that. So my ancestors left Techima. It's not that those days they can get a car, they got to walk. And it's couple of, I mean, yeah, you can't get a car. So they walk from that place. It took them, according to a year, because they'll be walking, getting to some point, they are tired, they have to stay. Getting to a certain point, people were giving birth because they have to sleep. And, when they sleep, they were male, female, things happen. So I said, when they were coming by the road, people would be giving birth, some of them would be dead, and a whole lot of frustrations. It was really bad. So they continue going. Where they get to certain place, they can stay for like a year or two. Then they stay there. But what they were doing was they also go with their fetish priest. So wherever they go, they will do some pacification. Sometimes they will plant a tree, and they have a means of doing their own thing those days, just to be sure that where we want to stay, like here, is going to be good for us or it's not going to be good for us. So the fetish priest will do something in a way like, medicinal stuff or stuff like that, just to prove that whether they will be able to stay there or not. They can stay there for some time. The place is not going to be good for them. They will move ahead. So over and over a couple of years, then the Akans, they are the highly populated people that I'm talking of. So we came to a place called Akanmankesi. That is, Akanmankesi means the Akans, the biggest town for the Akans. That is where they routed from Techima to settle. So when they got there, everybody was going with his chief. My ancestors, other people, they were all having their chiefs who leads them. So we got to a point where people were tired and separation came up. So the Guans left, Mankesim people left, Ayemem, Aguna, and other people. They left with their chiefs. And we also, veer off the road and went to settle at where we are now.
In central Ghana. So can you tell us, Chief, so you're a paramount chief, but you're also a king, Daasebre. Can you tell us the distinction between your title and role as a paramount chief, but also known as a king as well?
Okay, yeah, that's a good question. You see, this is just a bit funny. Every traditional ruler or every overlord is a king. But those days, our colonial masters, British, these people didn't want to acknowledge the fact that we are kings. It looks as if we are challenging them or stuff. I don't know their motive. So they said, well, those overlords, traditional authorities, your name should be paramount chiefs. You don't have to use kingship any longer. It was like we were challenging them because they have queens and kings and stuff like that. So they were envious. We were kings and whatever you think of. So they created this paramount chief to represent the kings and then the queens. But it doesn't really make any sense to me or to my colleagues. We are kings, we have our area of jurisdiction, we control our people, we do everything. So that is the difference. The paramount chief, they created it to be in a way that we're not going to call ourselves kings and stuff like that. That is the only secret. That is it. But we still stand to be our kings because we rule our areas on our own.
So internally and among yourselves, it's really traditionally is your king and kingship.
Sure.
You use chief just because that's what
No,
people are.
No,
Yes.
the chiefs, like I'm here, I'm the overlord. And I have chiefs. I have 32,000 villages. All these 32,000 villages, I have my chiefs there. They are those, we call them chiefs. But you can call me chief. I'm not a chief. But those under me are my chiefs. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they are chiefs. They are not, paramount chiefs. You can't call me a chief. Yeah, I have a title and stuff like that. So they are referred to as chiefs. Yeah.
So your title is king, but when people say paramount chief, they are just taken away from the value of using the term king.
That is it. That is it. That's why they did this for a reason. Like I said from the onset, they have, queen this, king this, and stuff like that. They are our colonial masters. You understand what I mean? So they were controlling the whole country. So whatever they tell you have to do, I said, look, it's not going to happen that way. Yeah, because it's me. I have my own area of jurisdiction. I have my chiefs, lesser chiefs under me. So what are you talking about? You understand? So we're gone out of this, but I mean, we are all recognized as kings in our various, communities or traditional areas.
Okay. In the Abeadze Traditional Area, what's the difference between the Abeadze Traditional Area and the Abeadze State? Is there any difference, or they just use those interchangeably because that's the area that you have jurisdiction over?
Right. It doesn't make any difference. Area and state, like you come to US, we have, state, this state, but ours is traditional area. That is the real thing. I mean, we don't use the term of state and stuff like that. It is traditional. You come to my area, it is Abeadze Traditional Area. Any town that is under me start with Abeadze, 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 Abeadze. So that shows where I operate. So that is, it should be a traditional area.
Okay.
That are not state or stuff like that.
And I know for many years you've not only been a king, but you've had tremendous influence in some of the bodies in Ghana. So I wanted to ask you about just, I know that you've been the president of the Central Region House of Chiefs, as well as the National House of Chiefs, which is the most influential body
the biggest,
for more than 20 years or so.
Yes.
So with this role of the National House of Chiefs, what is the actual influence as opposed to just symbolic as opposed to real influence? In other words, what can the president do without the support of the chiefs?
Yeah, okay. You see, this is a fact. No government can survive in Ghana without dealing with the chiefs. You can never. And I repeat, no government can survive in Ghana without the support of we, the chiefs. We are custodians of the land. I mean, everything comes from us. Those who are going to vote for you are our people. They understand my language. If I tell you vote for this, that's what he's going to do. That is a fact. So like I said, no president can survive in Ghana without, the support of us. They know you can't survive. You just can't survive. But our chieftaincy, I mean, you made mention of Central Region. You see, when you come to Central Region, we have 34 of my caliber. If I say 34 of my caliber, which means 34 of traditional authorities, overlords in the region, 34. So each paramount chief has the same status as, I have. Yeah. And we have traditional council. This traditional council, every paramount chief has this office. It is being manned by the government. Government pays the staff and everything. So government mans it. So from the traditional council, Then you go to the regional House of Chiefs. That is where all the 34 paramount chiefs meet and then discuss issues of importance. So you go to the traditional council, it's only my chiefs who meet there. Another paramount chiefs, it's only his chiefs. So you go to the regional House of Chiefs, it's only the paramount chiefs who meet and discuss issues. And I have been the president of the Central House of Chiefs for 2 terms. The 2 terms is 4 years, so making 8 years. Yes. So from the regional House of Chiefs, then you go to the highest point, the national, the whole Ghana. That is where laws are enacted for the chief. They control the whole Ghana. Every chief in Ghana, that is where the control, we make policies for them, do this, and then we lace up with government do this, don't do this. Before government gets approval to certain things, you have to come to that place, National House of Chiefs. Tell us that we want to do this, we want to manufacture this. Now we say, no, it's not going to work. It's not going to help our people, so we can't allow you to do it, and you have to stop. That is where the authority is. Yeah, chieftaincy. So at that point, I've been the president for the National House, or the vice president for the National House of Chiefs. It's always 1 term, that's 4 years, then another person also comes. So if you go to National House of Chiefs, we have 16 regions, and the composition up there at the national, where they oversee the whole chiefs in Ghana. If you say the whole chiefs in Ghana, then I am telling you that every part in Ghana is our jurisdiction. Because wherever there is town, there are people, there's chief. So we control apparently the whole Ghana. Well, where there are chiefs, it's our jurisdiction. We give instructions. Now do this, don't do this, whatever it is. So all the 16 regions have their various regional houses of chiefs. The composition up there should be 5 from each region, 5 members from each regional houses of chiefs. So one will be the president by election. Then one will be the vice president by election, and 3 members accompany them to the National House of Chiefs. That is where we get 5 from the 16 regions to form a house at the National House of Chiefs. Like I said from the onset, government does things, you have to come there and then explain why you want to buy this machine. Is it going to be good for our kids? If it's not going to be good for our kids, no, government, Mr. President, we don't side with you. This is not going to help. We've been doing it a couple of times. We have been doing it, seize government from doing a whole lot of things. So because the citizenry belongs to us, government will come, the West 8 years, he's gone, first time 4 years, another time. But who will be there till the kingdom come? So who will allow the government to come and manipulate the system and then leave for our citizens to suffer? No way. So we will be there, you after 8 years or 4 years, you are gone. We will be there, till the kingdom. If it's 100 years, I will still be my king. I will take care of my people. So we make sure that we don't allow politicians to tell us what they think is okay for them. We'll tell you our mind. That is a policy.
Sounds like real influence and real power.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Like I said from the onset, no government will survive. They know in Ghana without, the proper cohesion with the chiefs. You see, you will come to my traditional area campaign, I will stop you. Yes, I will not allow you to come to my traditional area and campaign for people to vote for you. Those who are going to vote are my citizens. I take care of them. They understand my language. If I tell them do this, they will do. You will come and talk and go. They will listen to me. So because I'm the immediate person that they always just wake up and see. It's not you. So this is how it works.
Yes. So I know you just arrived here in Oakland, and I heard you were busy on the phone with President of Ghana, Mahama.
Yeah.
And so what's your relationship as a king? What's your relationship with Mahama, who was just reelected again last December
That's right.
of 2024? And I know he appointed you as the board chair of the Water Resources Commission. So what's your relationship with the president?
Oh, we have a very good relationship. I mean, he's like, I don't know whether brother or whatever friend or yeah. So he's very nice with me, and I'm also very nice with him. We talk on phone, we do stuff. You see, when he came for the first time, let me go back. Before he came, President Morse, Professor Jonathan Morse was the president. So he appointed me. There's something in Ghana we call as Council of State. This Council of State is a 25-member committee who are appointed by the government to advise the government. So it's a big thing. So he appointed me to be one of that team who advised the president. Yeah, so when John Mahama also came, we're still fine working. We always try to help government to succeed. Anything that we can do to help Ghana to succeed, we have to do it. So we're having an electricity problem. So he appointed me to be the board chairman for Electricity Company of Ghana. It was tough, that time we were having on and off and stuff like that. So we had to travel, go up and down. And I went to Turkey to bring car power. I mean, that is somewhere 2016 to, save the situation. So this second time that he came back, it was still nice, He said, no, we still have water problem. So maybe you can go to water and then see what you can do to help our nation. I said, no problem. So he called me to be the chair for the Water Resource Commission so that I can also help give it back to my nation. Yeah, so by me and John, we are like, brothers. Yeah, we talk at any time, we meet at any time and stuff like that. Yeah.
So I want to ask you about as a king, what are some of your duties and responsibilities to the area that you have jurisdiction over, which is a very large area?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what we have to do is, that's what I said, we always have to liaise up with the government for our people's, socio-economic, reasons. We make sure that we provide development in our sectors, areas of jurisdiction. And we make sure that we take care of our kids to go to school, and their social, well-being, to get work to do, and then stuff like that. Because if you don't develop your area, nobody is coming to do it for you. And you always don't have to rely on government. Government is going to do his bit. But your setup, either you look for people from wherever to also come and then help in the system, that's you. And that is why you have contact. If you have contact, you get people to come in and help. I have contact. I know a lot of people outside. As I'm here, I'm going to have meeting with Water Resource Commission in Dayton, Ohio, meeting them. Pittsburgh, Thomas Young and a team, World Trade Center, they are also coming to meet me, and the Water Resource Commission from Pittsburgh. They are coming to see me at Dayton so that we see what we can do to help Ghana. So that is how it works. We always have to talk to people and see what we can do to help our jurisdiction.
Okay, excellent. So I want to ask you about some ceremonies because we learned quite a lot about the value system and traditions when we see the elaborate ceremonies. So I wanted to ask you about what was your ceremony like in becoming a king back around 29 years ago or so? What was What was that experience like? How does that actually work when you transition from one ruler to the next? Can you share some of that with us?
That is from one king to another king. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Oh, yes. You see, I inherited my senior brother. And, I'm making a lot of difference. In the town, we have our festival.
You want to speak louder for?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So, yes, yeah. So I inherited from my senior brother, and we have our festivals. This festival is not just a mere for fun. It's really rich. No, this is what my 50th anniversary of. Yeah, this is, yeah.
You want to come in front of the camera? Yeah.
Yeah, so we do these festivals every year. Like I said, not for fun. It's really, big thing. But one of the reasons why we do festivals every year is about family reunion. Seriously. Every year we do so that we invite people, our folks outside to come home. Sometimes there are problems in the house. So if you sit or stay in, wherever you find yourself and you don't come home, how do you get this small petties, result? So we do the festival to call all our citizens out there to come and then spend the day, holidays, and then all issues in your various houses. That is the time we give them to settle their differences or stuff like that. So festivals, like I said, it's not only for fun. It is a way of, coming together, family reunion, so that they can settle their differences. And it is another thing that we do to raise funds to develop our areas. That is another important thing that we do in our festivals. Yeah.
And the transition from leadership, is this, how long does this festival last? How many days is it?
The festival, like my festival, the peak will be 1 week. Consistent, programs. Every day there is different in every day. But I start somewhere 19th July. What I do is when I start like 19th July, my chiefs have their towns. So they also have to celebrate their festival with their citizens in their various towns. So we start early, allow them to do their various festivals from, their villages or wherever they find themselves. So the last week, all of them with their citizenry will come to me, to my festival. Mine will be the last one. And that's the biggest one. So after allowing them to have fun in their various places, then all of them will have to come to my place to do the big one. That includes myself and all of them, and then people from outside, from government, the president will come, and a whole lot of things. So that is how we do the festival. And like I said from the onset, my predecessor, if you are not from the royal lineage, you can never be a king or stuff like that. So that is what we do. And the line is there. You don't need to, go through any litigation or stuff like that. Like mine, yeah, it's there, very clear. So if you be a king or you are from the royal family, it's there, From the onset, from day one, you know that I'm a royal. So one day I'll get there. So you need to be disciplined. They have to train you so that you know how to talk, how to, portray yourself in public. All these are all things that we do. So if it gets to that point, and like my case, I was in school, you'll be in the room or confinement for 1 week. This confinement for 1 week is not just to be in the room or stuff like that. You will be there for 1 week where you will be trained. You will be trained for 1 week by elders. This is how you have to talk when you are in public. This is how you have to put on your cloak. Because chieftaincy, there are a whole lot of challenges. And once you become a chief, you are locked that there are certain things that you cannot do because we have our traditional code of ethics. If you are trapped by even one, you have to be distooled. Yes. You can't go to public and then misbehave. You will be distooled. Yes, because we have to protect the interest of the institution. It's a very sacred institution. So we don't play with it. So we have a code of ethics, as other places also have. So if you flatter any of them, you know that you're going to go. Yeah. So that is how it is.
And so how much is the ritual public for the?
Yes, like I said, you'll be in the room for 1 week. So after the 1 week, going through the process, they do a whole lot of things. Aside that, you'll be trained, like I say, how to put on cloth, how to talk in public and stuff like that. So after 1 week, then you're good to go. That is why they have to usher you out, do the proper outdooring, and then you'll be carried through in a palanquin through the town. It's a merrymaking. That's another big thing. Then you become a chief. So when you become a chief like this, you have to be gazetted. If I say gazetted, it's something that we have to do from the government entity. It's not the gazette that makes you a chief. Once your people have appointed you to be a chief, you are recognized. But because you will be able to perform your statutory function, the statutory function is things that belongs to government, and then you have to enjoy those stuff. That is where you have to be gazetted by the government so that your name will be entered into the bulletin. Then government also recognizes you so that anything in connection with government, you have right to partake. So that is where you do the gazetting. Yeah.
Thank you. So on another ceremony, I'm sorry to hear about your twin sister passing earlier
Who
this year.
told you?
I'm a researcher, so I just.
Oh, okay.
And so and then Sister Rauna sent me a text. I said, yeah, I saw this. I told her I saw the ceremony already.
Okay.
So Madam Isi Ata.
It's there.
So tell me if I'm right. It seemed as though, I know she passed at 65. Did she pass on her birthday around January 31st of this year? Was it?
Yeah, it was in December.
December.
Yeah, December last year.
Okay.
So we kept I'm a twin. So my other one is the one prophet, just asking, that's the girl. Yeah, so like Prof said, she passed on, and then the funeral was last June the 21st. June. It was big.
It was big.
It was very big. Yeah. So that's my twin sister. Yeah.
And I want to ask you about, I know that for the protocol for the funeral was black and red. Why those colors? I know those are used for certain ceremonies, but not all ceremonies. So why black and red to honor your sister's passing?
Yeah. When you are bereaved, it is black or red. That tells let people to know that you are bereaved, you are in danger. So that is what we do in Ghana. Anything connected with funeral, it should be either black or red. So like my sister's issue, I think in the morning I had to go and then see her. We have some classification that we have to do. Aside being twins, there are certain things that we have to do. So I have to go and then see her in the morning he was like, I think they was laid in state for 3 days before buried. And because she's a royal, they bury them at night. Don't bury them during the day, late in the night. So I had to go see her, do proper separation with my sister, with my chiefs as well. So when they on the Saturday morning, the Friday, there are things that we have to do as twins. That one we were in white. Aside the fact that we were mourning, because twins perform everything in white. So that Friday, I had to be in white, and all the twins around the area, a lot of people will come and then be white, so that we'll go to where my sister was laid for another, customary stuff to be taken care of. So the Saturday morning, I went to the place with my chiefs for proper separation. So that one, I did black. That day, everybody was in black. That was the instructions. So after using the black, I come and change myself and put on red for the main funeral. But the Sunday will be church service. So the church service, they use anything white. On Sunday, for the church, they use anything white background. Yeah.
Thank you. And the last question about ceremonies is, so next year, as you said earlier, going to be your 30th anniversary.
Yeah, big time.
Involved with chieftainship.
Sure.
So I know that's going to be a big event.
Big event.
So what can you tell us about that 30-year important ceremony?
Yeah, 30 years, that's next year, August is going to be my 30 years on the stool. And it's not easy. The ups and downs, problems, issues, solving, and I think you can bear with me that to be on this seat for 30 years, it's a lot. You've gone through a lot. And I know I've done a whole lot of things. So these 30 years is going to be very fantastic. It's going to be big. Whoever is ready to come, you are welcome. Yeah, come, I will take care of you. To anyone who is ready to come. So because it's going to be big, a lot of people will come, the president will come, the government officials are coming, and then the chiefs from all the 16 regions are coming. Because it's going to be a big celebration as 30 years. So, Prof, I hope you are coming.
I'm gonna make a point. I'm gonna make a point, yeah.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
congratulations on
Sure.
your leadership.
Sure.
So I have one last question, and maybe we'll open it up for a couple questions.
Sure.
And so it's important as an accomplished chief, a king, that people know about kingship, because here in the US, and we have it in other countries outside of Africa, people call everybody a king. All guys are kings, all women are queens, regardless of their conduct, regardless of their behavior. And now we have a new era coming about where there's no shame, but yet everybody's a king and queen. So what do you think about people using that title in this regard? Because it's very common now.
Yeah, they are disrespecting, the title. Yeah, because like I said, it's not easy to, call yourself a king. Yeah, that's why I said we have chiefs. But at this time, even most of the chiefs are calling themselves kings. You are not overlord. You are not a traditional authority or traditional ruler. You don't govern people. You don't have chiefs under you. How do you, quickly go up there? We don't do it. They are abusing the institution, the reputation. So we try to, talk to them. I mean, in Ghana, we're doing it. If you do this mistake and you are caught, you will be disciplined. But it's not fair. It's not fair. So we are working on it, and we are sending message across. Whoever try to call himself the name that he's not supposed to be called, he will deal with you.
Price to pay. I love it. Very similar to, I met with 11 Dinka paramount chiefs
Okay.
and local chiefs, and they were very strict on protocol.
Yeah.
And the price people would pay for being out of order, and they were very serious about it. So very similar to what you're saying.
Sure.
Yes. So we really thank you, King, for your time and your expertise and your
It's my
leadership.
pleasure.
Yeah, and showing great character. And you've been consistently consistent over a consistent period of time. That's what leadership's about. So maybe if we have a question from the audience, and then maybe, Brother Bill, if we have maybe a question online, and then we'll kind of close it out that way. So anybody have, any? Oh, you have, okay. All right, you have written questions? No, we addressed this.
Um,
You wanna speak loud? Yeah.
One question just came, is Ghana an actual developed nation? And please paint a clear picture.
Come again.
Is Ghana an actual developed nation? And please paint a clear picture.
I like that.
Just so they can hear.
Yes, Ghana is a developed country. I can say this on authority because we are making a lot of improvements. I mean, if you go to the net, you can hear about Ghana. If you come to Africa, and trust me, Ghana is doing very well. It is a developed country. Yeah, yeah. This is what I can tell, and you can check it online and see the development that is going on. It's where the new government that my friend is working very hard, extremely. John Mahama is working very hard. He's taking Ghana to a point where I know with time will be more prominent than it used to be. So we are a developed country.
Okay, so I just want to give some visual recognition to the people who wrote it, because it's not anonymous. Next question is, if you could raise your hand if it was you, does your problem with electricity still stem from lack of resources?
Stem from what?
Does your problem with electricity stem from a lack of resources?
Yes. You see, the problem was this. We were using hydro, Akosomo Dam. So we had problem with the water. That is the dam that produces electricity for Ghana. It went off. We were having 6, terminals. So it came down, it was not raining. So it was not getting water to, prepare the shaft and stuff like that. So the 6, it drained down to 2. So all the 4 were not working because they need water to be able to function and function well. So that is where we had the biggest problem because you see, electricity, Ghana is developing, and then this time we go to Ghana, everybody will build an air conditioning and stuff like that. I mean, modernization. So every month, the rate of power demand was going very high. So the Akosomo was not working. We had individual power producers, they were also working, and we were still not getting it right. So sometimes about a week, you don't have light. It was really tough. Businessmen were suffering and stuff like that. It was my turn, so I had to move out. And I went to Turkey to be able to bring 360 megawatt car power, commission it at the port for it to start working. When it started, everything was, cool. Basically, funding is also another thing because sometimes if you don't have enough money, revenue doesn't come so much for you to pay your power producers, it becomes an issue. So more or less, this is also another factor, to that,
So online, Mama Keisha, you have a question?
Thank you. I appreciate your being with us, sir. My question is, as a king, what is your take on the Americans and other people in the diaspora who want to migrate to Ghana? You said you have 16 regions.
Right.
Can you speak to that, please?
Can y'all hear the question in the audience?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, my stake in terms of people trying to come to Ghana, is that the migration you're talking about, please? Yes, it is somewhere last couple of years, I think 4 or 5 years ago, 2020, we did
Year of the-
year of return. In 2019, you're right. Were you there? You came, yeah. So that is another way of encouraging our people out there to come home. And a lot of people came. Now we have places in Ghana, if you go, people, it's only Americans who are there. They build their houses, they live there. When they are coming to you, then they just come in to visit and then go. So we are still advocating that people who can. This year, I think this is the 3rd time that I've come to US. I came to Washington, we worked on it. I came to Philadelphia. We're talking to people to come and invest in Ghana. And then we make sure that it's not that you're going to invest and then lose. We make sure that we do the right thing. We take you through the proper process. Not like going to meet anybody and say, no, bring me money. No, it's not going to happen that way. So we are encouraging people to come and invest so that Ghana will also get the benefit of that investment. Whoever comes, like I said, if you come to Ghana and you want to settle, we should be able to help you settle. And this is what we've been advocating for quite a long time. So, ma'am, if there's any migration that you want to come to Ghana, just let me know. I'll take you through the That's your mom? Oh, okay. We'll take you through the process and make sure that we'll help you to get settled and settle well.
Excellent.
Okay, so the next question, and raise your hand if this is you, is with regard to infrastructure issues. And I'm going to qualify this and say, are we speaking of Ghana in general, or are we speaking of Abeadze, which is the area that he is specific with?
What the area he's specific.
Okay. So infrastructure issues being 24/7 energy, internet, paved roads, clean water, and sanitation. What is the plan to solve these issues? And I might say in lieu of time, you might want to pick 1 or 2 of those and address them.
Yeah, I mean, this is part of the developmental, project that we're talking of. Yeah, you see, if you go to a community without water, light, and stuff like that, it becomes an issue. People would not like to come and stay there. You come to my community, I mean, my traditional area, there is no even a village without light. Because I was the board chairman for Ghana Electricity Company, these are some of the benefits my people should enjoy. So I make sure that every town on the me is being supplied by electricity. And it's helping them. You see, it's an eye-opener. Once you have light, light is light. It takes you everywhere. And now I've been asked to take care of water. So what I'm going to do is this. I make sure that every village of mine under my jurisdiction gets water, potable water to drink. So you have water, you have light, the rest you can manage it. Water is life, you have it, you have light. So we're trying to do things that will make our people comfortable. Their way of living will be okay for them. It's not going to be perfect, we are human beings, but at least for them to be okay in a way that they can live and live well.
So we have another question online. I think Sister Iya Abena, I think that's who has, you have a question?
Yes, Michawo, greetings. Your Highness.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So my question was basically more one of, you were originally, and I came in a little late, my apologies. So I hope I didn't miss anything, but when you were speaking of the lineage for the kingship, the Ohini passing through the matrilineal line, so does that mean that it goes through, so obviously it's from son or nephew, grandson, so on and so on, depending on, you know, how children fall in a particular generation. So does that mean that women can only become Ohima queens if when they're married to a king, or can they also become queen through matrilineal inheritance, so to speak?
Oh, wanted to that the queen can marry the king. Is that a question? Female. No,
Right.
female is always no, female is always female than woman. They are the queen mothers. Like I said, it's always, it takes, women to deal with women. Because if I'm the king, I'm male. There are certain things that I can't do with the woman. That's why we always have our queen mothers. So at a certain point, he should take care of the woman. Sometimes they train kids about their puberty rights. You see, this puberty right is something that we have to teach our kids before they grow. So all these obligations become the headache of the queen mother. I can't go and then teach the kids, the girls, puberty right or stuff like that. That is why we have our queen mothers. They would take care of all these things with other stuff. And queen mother cannot marry the king. I think he asked, that wasn't the question.
And they're asking if the queen becomes the queen because she married the
Yeah.
king, which is no.
No. So women are queen mothers, men are the chiefs. But now women can be chiefs, because if you are a woman and it comes to your point where there is no money in the house, we can ask woman to be the chief, not a queen mother. So women will have two chances. Either you become a queen mother or possibly become a real chief. So when you are now a real chief as a woman, then you don't dress like woman, you dress like man, because you are inheriting or you are asked to be a chief as a man. So that is the difference.
Oh, queen mother arrived at through matrilineal or?
Yes, because my queen mother is from the nuclear family, the royal family. So they are picked from within the royal family. Yeah, you can't switch. Unless, like, maybe it's honorary position. That one can come from anybody. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you. So, Brother Bill, you have a question?
Yes, a question about the traditional areas and their infrastructure. That infrastructure is developed independently for each area, and they may or may not cooperate in construction and operation with other areas. Is that how it works?
On the areas like, can you make it a bit clear? Other areas like
It means the traditional
the
areas.
tradition. Oh, yeah, that is true. You see, like I said, initially I was saying that nobody will come and develop my traditional area for me. I got to do it myself. So my colleague is also in his traditional area. He has to develop his area. So all the paramount chiefs will develop their areas, and then we get Ghana, we get one Ghana. So you have to do it from, place to place, individually. Yeah, that is why sometimes we have to reach out to people. It's about lobbying. If you lobby well, you can get your place developed. If you don't lobby well and you don't work hard, who is going to do it for you? Government will try, but it can't be, all through. You also have to work hard. Like I said, if you go to my area, not even a single village without light. It's some of the development. Yeah, so it's ability to do it. Sometimes you have to use your own money to develop them. And I had a thought that, well, education is the key. So I've been taking care of kids to school for free on my own. Because I said, look, let me see, maybe like 10 years, I should be able to get scholars within my traditional area. Then it is opening my traditional area. So if you get educated people in your traditional area, that is where the development also starts. So these are all the plans that, I'm working on to make sure that my people get good education so that they can also give back to the community.
Have
Mama,
the Chinese,
is it okay?
yes, yes. Have the
Good.
Chinese proven good suppliers, or are they sometimes quite coercive and pushy and not able to negotiate?
Yeah.
The Chinese. Yeah. Yes, they are. We've been working with them. I remember when I was the board chairman for Electricity Company of Ghana, they supply a lot of cables and other meters and stuff like that for us. But you need to be very careful because, they'll bring this meter for you to check and it will pass. The subsequent ones that will come, if you are not careful, that is where the problem lies. So they are good, but this is something that we have to do. Always you have to keep eye on them and make sure that you get the right, product. Thank you.
This is the last question here.
Okay. The question is, how hard do you feel it is to live up to your position or your people?
Come again.
How hard do you think it is to live up to, I'm going to add in the expectations maybe, of your position or of your people?
Yes, it is not easy. Human, relationship is always something. When you're dealing with human beings, trust me, it's a lot of work. Yeah, simple thing that people should understand. You would think it's very clear, but somebody will not understand you. Yeah. You think you're doing the right thing to help your people, but some of them will not understand. They think, you are giving them a lot of help or stuff like that. So anything connected with human beings, dealing with them is not easy. We've been going through a whole lot of things, but that is why we are leaders. Whatever it is, you should be able to contain and then make sure that you talk to them, control them, because he might not understand what he or she is doing. But because you are a leader, you know the end results. So you have to be sure that you talk to the person, educate the person to side with you, and then make sure that you do the right thing. But human beings, controlling them is not easy. It's another serious matter. But we are leaders, so we know how to, handle it. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal.
Well, folks, so it's very clear that when we go to Ghana and other places, there's no reason to come back only talking about the door of no return and trauma. Yeah. It's more important to learn about the traditions, the culture, the kingship. When Sister Rauna was going for the first time a couple years ago, that's what I said. Hey, you know what? You're going to have to work hard to go to the traditional areas and learn from the chiefs and kings and tradition, because they're going to push you to slavery, slave trade, and trauma. And the people that chase trauma, when they go to West Africa, they can go to sacred places right here in the US where Black people have suffered. Yeah, so there's no reason to limit Ghana to just dungeons and castles and trauma. That's part of the experience, but you see a living king who upholds the tradition, the culture, the character of leadership. And so this is why it's very important. And thank you, King, for coming.
It's my pleasure.
Yes. So King Daasebre, Kwebu, Ewusi, the seventh. Thank you very much, sir. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Yes.
Thank
Yes,
you so
sir.
much for calling me.
Yeah, thank you.
And I'm happy to be with you here today. You see, if you don't tell the story, how can people know and understand? So anytime they call me somewhere to go and then talk, I like it. So that I can send my message for people to know and they understand me. It's very simple. So I'm happy to be with you here. And maybe this is not going to be the last time. I will come back.
Okay, you're more than
And
welcome.
those who want to come to Ghana, you should let me know. It will be good. Thank you.